guys, and welcome to day 2. So today we're going to be talking about the different symptoms that fibromyalgia patients experience, from some extremely common ones that we all experience to some uncommon ones that not everybody does. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Victoria. I'm 27 years old, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia when I was 20, and I've had it since I was about 12 or 13, based on symptoms. So I want to talk about a few of those symptoms. I was actually blown away, and I wish I could find the article, and if I do, I will post it in the comments. But there was over 250 recorded symptoms with fibromyalgia patients, and that is just such a big number. And it's crazy to think about that there's 250 possible symptoms of fibro. Like, that's a lot. So, and I'm not going to list them all. There's no way. But I am going to list some ones that we all experience and some that some of us experience. Some of the ones that we all experience is all over body pain. That's our number one indicator that we have it. All over body pain can feel like either tightness across the whole body, like we're being squeezed. It can feel like bruises that are just constantly being touched. Our whole body can ache, almost like the flu. That's the way I like to explain it to friends of mine when they ask what it is. I always tell them that, yeah, it feels like if you've ever had COVID with the body aches or the flu with the body aches, that's what it feels like on a normal day. And then when we get flare-ups, which we'll talk about later, it literally feels like our entire body is literally being like squeezed and hit with hammers. Another one we experience because of all the pain we feel is fatigue, and some of us are even diagnosed with chronic fatigue. So we're always tired no matter how much we sleep. The simplest tasks just drain our energy. And we're going to talk about something later too called the spoon theory. So I don't want to get too much into that, but we only have a certain amount of energy a day that we can use. And if we're really not feeling good, that gets cut in half. So we can only use a certain amount of our energy to do certain tasks. That way we can make it through the day. And there's just some days where our body and our mind just needs to rest. Just needs to lay in bed. It needs to rest and relax, because it's just the mind and the body is just so exhausted. And like I had explained in day 1 yesterday, that when we have all of these symptoms and we're diagnosed with fibro, it's because our brain doesn't communicate with the nerves in our spinal cord properly. And that's why we get so body exhausted so quickly. We also always, a lot of us experience brain fog and muscle weakness. So brain fog, the way that my doctor explained it to me, it's like when you get a head cold and you feel like the fogginess, like it's just your mind's working slow because it's not feeling good. That's what brain fog is almost like, except we're not stuffed up all the time. I have allergies. But it's not the stuffiness, it's the fact that our head is so stuffy and clouded. And it can affect our reaction times to situations. It can affect how quick we can speak. Some of us speak quicker, some of us speak slower. I tend to speak quicker. So you see me kind of like backtrack a little bit with my words with the brain fog. So, it affects everything, decision making, you name it. I've literally, with the brain fog, my attention span is like this big. And if I have a thought in my head, I have to say it because it's just going to go away. It'll be gone in like 2 seconds. It's my superpower. I can forget what I'm going to say in 2 seconds flat, which is why, I'm not even going to lie, guys, I have a notebook to kind of help me out through this project, because I forget everything. With the muscle weakness too, I shouldn't say that's a very common symptom, because all of us experience it differently. Some of us experience it every once in a while. Some of us experience it all the time. Kind of just depends. So for me personally, my muscle weakness is my knees will give out, or I'll lose my hand strength, which is very scary since I'm a power lifter and I lift a lot of weights. When my hand strength is gone, it's gone. Can't control it. I can't stop it. My nerves just don't work very well. And with other people too, it can be mobility. So I've seen a friend of mine that I had actually met through one of the online communities for us. that she is 20 or 21 years old and she walks with a cane because of the muscle weakness and the body aches. And yes, there are some other underlying conditions, but fibro just amplifies everything. Let's be real. It's going to amplify if you're sick. It's going to amplify when you're tired, and everything, like your exhaustion is going to be twice as bad. If you get the flu on top of fibro, you're going to be twice as sick. It's insane because our bodies already feel sick a lot of the time, especially like when the weather affects us, like temperatures. So we already feel that weakness. And then when you throw other things in the mix, we have even more muscle weakness. So a lot of us will use assisted devices, canes, walkers. Some of us are in wheelchairs. We're all at different paths in this fibromyalgia journey. We're all at different points. So assisting devices, I think, are phenomenal. I've actually thought about getting one because there's some days where I can barely walk, and it's a struggle, even just to sit up in a chair. Some of I shouldn't use the word strange symptoms, but uncommon symptoms that not all of us experience. I experience a couple of these. I don't experience all of them, and these were brought to my attention through the Facebook community where I gotten a lot of this information on symptoms to see people were experiencing with fibro, since we're all so different. We all have different sensitivities. So, and I think that's the biggest one, is that some of us are sensitive to heat, whereas most of us are sensitive to cold. I cannot stand cold things. I can't stand eating cold things. I can't stand being in cold temperatures unless it's like 90 degrees outside like it is right now. I can't stand, I'll eat ice, but I have to be very careful because I like chewing on ice. It helps. So we're sensitive to temperature. Some of us we're hypersensitive to sound and light for sure. Especially when we have flare-ups, so things sound louder or they sound quieter. So it just depends. I'm hard at hearing, so I always ask people to have to repeat themselves, and I feel terrible for it. Some of us are with the light aspect. I can't look at headlights. They literally are blinding. So even during the day, I have to wear polarizers. Sometimes I have to wear them in the house if it gets really bad, just because it's blinding to even look outside. Dry eyes is another one too. I personally don't experience dry eyes. A friend of mine that's my age does. Constant dry eyes, and she doesn't even have allergies. Doesn't experience allergies. Never has, even as a kid. But she gets super dry eyes. So that was another one too I'd seen on the symptom list as a possible symptom of fibro. And then, of course, you've got like IBS, you've got TMJ. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. TMJ, which is something that is a little bit uncommon. I've noticed it's kind of split down the middle. Some of us do and some of us don't. It's like lockjaw is another way to explain it. It really tight in the jaw. I have to chew on things a lot, especially when I get overstimulated. Because I'll start grinding my teeth. So I'll either have like gum, mints. I actually have a piece of a chew toy for adults that I can chew on when my teeth grinding gets extremely bad. And the symptoms I'm listing too, like I had said earlier, not all of us experience them. All of us are different. So whereas I might have almost all these symptoms listed, somebody else might only have a couple of them. So it varies from person to person. So whenever you ask someone who has fibromyalgia, what do you feel, like what are your symptoms? You're going to get the pain and the fatigue and the brain fog, but you might not get the TMJ. You might not get the sensitivity to heat. They might only be sensitive to cold or vice versa. So we're all different, especially depending on what our mobility is, our lifestyles are, what we're eating. Everything factors into those symptoms. So that's all I really had for today's video on symptoms. So I'm really excited too that you guys were able to be here. This is a good video too to send to anybody that you're trying to explain what fibro is like. That way you can kind of explain them. I did post on my social media account an image, and I'll include it in the video too. It is a guy that got struck by lightning, and you can see the bruising and everything down his back. And it literally is one of the perfect representations of fibromyalgia, if you could see it. Because you won't see it. That's the thing. When we say we're sick, then you know something's wrong. Like, same with if doctors ask us our pain level on a scale of 1 to 10. I didn't know there was a scale for us. I look at it this way, from 100 to 1,000. So I throw out that 1 to 10 scale. I go from 100 to 1,000. I never use that 9 or 10 unless I'm absolutely dying. I've never used a 10 before for fibro. I'm saving that for the day when I know I'm on death's door. Or it's so bad that I have to go to the hospital, which I've been there. When I've gotten flare-ups that are so bad, I get really bad insomnia, which is another symptom too. It's actually a really common one. I don't know why I didn't mention that. But insomnia, we don't know what sleep is. Especially when there's kids involved, we just don't know how to sleep. So, and it's not like, I shouldn't say we don't know how to sleep. We try. We give it our all, and we pray every night that we can sleep. We could sleep for 12 hours and wake up and feel like we haven't slept in weeks. It's insane. But we're also going to do a day on sleep as well. We've got so much scheduled, so I hope you're looking at the schedule that's in the description, because there's so much I want to talk to you guys about over the next couple weeks. So I'm really excited you're here. Day 3 is going to be diagnostics. Wanted to make sure because I changed schedule a little bit. So day 3 is going to be about diagnostics, what I went through to get diagnosed, what a few of my friends went through. And then I'm going to explain too, because I got this question, what is the difference between fibromyalgia and lupus? And I asked my doctor this because they said that I might have lupus, but I am too young to test. So I wanted to look up that difference. And it's not a huge difference, but there is a very key difference in fibro and lupus. So I hope you guys will tune in tomorrow and watch day 3. That way we can talk about that. I'm trying to keep these videos under 15 minutes for you guys, because I know it can be hard to sit and watch really long videos. But thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll keep checking those hashtags and comments, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys.